Come in, take a seat, and join us at the table for episode 3 of Famished, a Mr. and Mrs. podcast where we talk about memorable meals, their origins, why food is so great, and more. I'm Mr. Walker Todd, and I'm joined by
Mrs. Walker Todd.
And this week, we're talking about cheese, but not just cheese. We're talking about grilled cheese, but not just grilled cheese. We're talking about grilled cheese sandwiches, toasties. Did you like that intro?
It was a beautiful intro.
Thanks. Yeah, you might have noticed we had a week off. We were busy. Both, you got a job.
I got a job.
Which is very exciting. And lockdown job. Not hard, not easy to do. Well done. And also to celebrate, we cooked for the show.
We did.
We did. What did we make?
We made grilled goat's cheese, honey, rosemary, and walnut toasties.
Bam! Bougie.
Thanks to the wonderful cheese truck.
Yes.
/ Cheese Bar London.
This was going to be my first question. Where did these magical sandwiches come from?
So they came from the cheese truck, which is a super cool...
A truck that sells cheese.
A truck?
A Chuck? Hey, Chuck. Maybe someone works there called Chuck, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's a really cool truck. You can find it around London. You can find it in certain markets. That's my understanding. I have actually never eaten from the truck. However, I believe
yes,
that you have.
Yes, I've been fortunate to sample many delights in my time as a technology journalist, which has no relation to cheese at all. But sometimes they get in good caterers for the events where they launch products and stuff. And yeah, once, I didn't really think about it at the time. Who knew years later? But I think it was a Nokia event in East London. They had the cheese truck out front. And yeah, they handed me the most ridiculous looking melted cheddar cheese sandwich ever.
Yes, I was very disappointed when Mr. Walker Todd told me this story the other day because he chose the most boring flavour of cheese toasty you could have got.
No. I chose the established, the best, the most it's like an Italian restaurant. If you go to an Italian restaurant and you order something as generic as spaghetti bolognese, it's got to be good. That's how you know it's a good restaurant. If their bolognese is good, then you know that anything else you order will also be good.
In fairness, I am that person.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you'd understand, but you just wanted to wail on me.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, I had their bog standard grilled cheese sandwich years ago, and I've never forgotten it. It was incredible.
I actually remember you telling me about it at the time and me being really angry with you that you'd eaten a cheese toasty without me.
Yeah, I probably had to make it up for you by making homemade grilled cheese sandwiches, which were nothing like what we made this past week.
Yeah, so we ordered this really cool toasty kit from the cheese truck. They're doing these kits that you can have delivered. It depends where you live and what day you can have delivery, but the delivery was cheap.
Yeah,
the whole thing was probably the best value for money I've seen so far on bougie home delivery during lockdown.
For what equates to an artisanal toasted cheese sandwich delivered to your door.
I was happy.
Yeah, nice.
And it all came in a nice package. And you can see all of this in the video that we did. So check it out on our Instagram, at Famished Family. Yeah,
we actually... yes, we didn't have an episode last week. But what we did do instead was we made sure we filmed the whole experience of unboxing and assembling, cooking, and then, of course, tasting this incredible sandwich. And oh boy, was it a good time. The video, is, as you say, on our Instagram. But you can also find it on our YouTube. If you want to enjoy it in 16:9 glory. It was an experience, and you can kind of join us on that journey if you want a little bit behind the scenes on this week's episode. So yeah, check that out. But yeah, the sandwich is from the cheese truck or the cheese bar. The cheese truck is a literal truck.
Yes.
Like an ice cream van.
Yes.
That sells grilled cheese. I just wanted to make that clear. If anyone just thought it was a weird brand or whatever, they just had a fun truck logo. No. They're an actual truck, and it is amazing. And then the cheese bar, you've taken me to a cheese restaurant in London, but this was not that.
I've always wanted to go to a Cheese Bar London. I follow their Instagram and regularly feel hungry. And so this was an awesome way to do it because having launched Famished, I think we probably would have gone, but obviously due to the current situation we can't go. But it's really nice that quite a few places are doing these kind of experiences so you can bring the restaurant home to you, which I think is quite nice.
I mean, if you keep listening to the show, which we hope you will, you'll probably hear us try a few other of these kind of home experience kits. And hopefully you'll be able to then try them for yourself if you like what you hear.
And let's be real, we all need a treat.
Yeah.
Whether it's locked down or not.
Yeah, just because it's a day, ending in the word day. Treat time. Yeah, so we did kind of quickly glance through the ingredients that came in our particular one. I'd say it was interesting that, you berated me for getting a classic cheese toasty, but I was surprised because I didn't know what you'd ordered when it came. I was surprised when this goat's cheese toasty came, and not only a goat's cheese, but a soft goat's cheese toasty. But yeah, it was no less, if not more amazing, to be honest, than a standard cheese toasty sandwich, because it was just, it was unusual. It was different. It was exciting.
It was cool because I subscribed to their emails and got one of the first 100 boxes. So that's partly why we did it as well.
Was that of that particular flavour or of just all of their sandwiches?
That particular flavour, and then they did 100 boxes of the cheddar cheese, onion...
Oh boy.
Something else one as well.
Yeah.
Now they're just selling them regularly, so you can get them easily.
So we were early. All right, yeah.
We were early.
Awesome. That's very exciting.
Yeah. But the whole vibe is kind of all about bringing great British cheese to the forefront. I think they kind of... And I'm sure everybody knows this, European cheeses are seen everywhere. Brie, Camembert, those are both from France. But other...
from everywhere.
Other countries in Europe do amazing cheese. And I think sometimes that gets overshadowed in terms of our kind of more homegrown local options.
What, as in like international cheeses overshadow British cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for cheddar cheese.
Yeah, obviously everyone knows cheddar.
And so they kind of wanted to...
Highlight
that.
The little guy.
And make it affordable. Yeah. Appeal to people.
Affordable for a gourmet cheese service.
Yeah. Appeal to people who are a bit younger.
Yeah.
Dare I say millennials.
I mean, that's not young anymore.
And probably
There's
more.
like 3 generations below that.
I was so upset when someone said I was a millennial the other day. Anyway, we digress.
Don't hold on to the anger. Let it go.
So, yeah, that was kind of their aim. And they have the truck. They also are at markets. They're at Maltby Market, which I have been to. If you want to go to a great food market in London, Maltby Market is definitely the place to go.
You've mentioned this. I don't think I've been to Maltby Market, right?
I ditched you and went with someone else.
Rude. And then Borough Market, I love that. And we will probably do an episode on that, I feel, because that's a good one.
Yeah, Maltby Market is kind of like a more trendy, more artisanal, smaller owned kind of foodie companies market, whereas Borough Market I think is much bigger and more commercial now. It probably wasn't.
Maltby Market's the hipster market now.
Basically, Maltby Market's the hipster market.
Right.
So yeah, they're super cool. But they have a background in street food, so of course they're nailing it.
So was the truck first? And
I believe so. I know that the owner Matthew started with
like food trucks and stuff.
Food trucks.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And street food, and knew what he was doing clearly. And then started this cheese empire.
Oh, fascinating. That's a good empire to be at the head of. How would you say the experience was cooking this particular... Oh, everything, not just the cooking, the receiving it, the unboxing, everything we did in that video.
It was all really easy.
Yeah.
So it was easy to order, easy to have delivered. All of that was great. And then what was inside the box was lovely. The cards and everything were super nice.
Yeah, they had a postcard with the cheese truck on the front, which looked pretty cool.
The recipe card was really easy to follow. I mean, I don't think they could have made it easier. I mean, in fairness, making a grilled cheese sandwich is not that complicated.
No.
But it was the sort of extra flourishes. Like, you would never make it the way that we made it, I don't think, at home.
No.
So it was nice to make it that way. And I think has changed probably the way we would cook.
Yeah. If it's not evident, like, it's a decadent cheese sandwich. All of them are.
Oh my God. Each sandwich used a whole tub of goat's cheese.
Yeah, was it like 200 grams?
Something.
A person or something mental.
Nuts.
It was so much cheese.
And then one of those like little pots of honey each.
Yeah, honey was it. I mean, I didn't ever think to pair those flavours together.
What? I love goat's cheese and honey.
Goat's cheese and honey, I guess, but like not in a cheese sandwich. I wouldn't even think to make a toasty with soft cheese, period, because I thought it would melt out the sides.
Or it wouldn't melt would be my worry.
Oh, and it go weird.
Yeah, but none of this happened.
It was honestly perfect.
It was. I really like the nuts in it.
Yeah.
I would never have thought to put nuts in a cheese toasty. But that was brilliant. And the texture, it just took it to a new level. Depth of flavour.
Really good.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Glorious.
I think I liked the fact the honey and the tartness of the goat cheese and the sweetness of that honey into play. Oh, yeah.
Very well balanced.
Yeah.
And we made a delicious rosemary butter, which you basically based your bread in. And that was really nice and just added another level to it as well.
And they had like in box we didn't have to get the rosemary. They had a fresh sprig of rosemary in the box.
Yeah, you literally needed nothing.
Just utensils and cooking
Just utensils.
Yeah,
that was it.
Which is great.
No ingredients, nothing like that. You literally just needed a pan that you could cook it in and preferably some tinned something or other to weigh it down whilst it cooks.
Yeah. We initially tried a whole cast iron like skillet with tins in it, and then that seemed a bit much, and then just put a can of beans on top and you'll be fine. This is a sort of backhanded compliment, but one of the things in the box, of course, is the instruction card.
Oh yeah.
And our one was a little bit confusing because it was definitely for the wrong recipe. And then some of it was right, or sort of right, but then it still had things that were wrong. But then you emailed them,
and literally they got back to me within a day.
Yeah, and I put that down to this wasn't a product until lockdown happened.
Yes, this is very new.
So and also we were among the first 100. So like we were the basically the beta testers, the Gen 1.
And I do think there needs to be a level of flex. Like I saw an Instagram post the other day from a friend, and it was basically kind of saying, look, all the shops are about to reopen. People have had to make loads of changes during this time. It's really stressful on the staff. It's really stressful on the company. You don't know what they've been through. Like, try and be...
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, basically, don't be an idiot. Like, be kind.
Yeah.
Be thoughtful. Think about others. Don't complain just because something isn't the way it used to be. And I think for us, we're super keen to support those kind of smaller food enterprises.
Yeah.
And I liked some of the correspondence.
If they're doing something different.
Yeah, some of the emails we had like from them kind of highlighted the fact that they are small, they are artisanal, they are not finding this time easy, and they really appreciate all of their customers. And I just think that's lovely that they're so open and honest. For
sure. And also the fact that they have then, I mean, obviously for them it's a business move to try and stay like afloat and have a product to sell in these tough times.
Yeah.
But also like hats off to them for having the ingenuity to craft these, some of these things might, maybe not with the cheese truck, but with other brands that we've looked at, they've had to build completely new dishes and also figure out things like delivery. I don't think they did delivery before. If they did, they may have used a third-party service like delivery or whatever. Well,
they also deliver, so you can have like a cheese and wine night, like you can have charcuterie, you can get all of that.
That's genius.
You can also get a cheese fondue kit, which I would love to do, but we're kind of saving that for a special occasion.
Yeah. Not just a day ending in day.
No.
Although. But yeah, hats off to them for like coming up with this like short list of, orderable, delicious sandwiches, and then being able to like put a nice kit together. It looks nice. It feels nice. It feels like a present.
It does feel like a present.
It's a really nice experience to open it up, and then and also it meant that we cook together. Usually one of us cooks, the other one cooks. Usually Ellie cooks. Let's be real. So yeah, it was nice to do that. I mean, yes, I was also filming the whole thing because I'm me, but there were times, and I also got to, in that moment, we cooked it and took it straight off the pan and kind of just ate it there and then.
Yeah, it was so good. Like you just wanted to eat it right away.
I mean, that just from when you made the butter, the green butter, because it's green because of the rosemary, just smelling that and the way the house smelled.
Oh yeah.
It's a whole experience, like the senses, it delights the senses beyond just tasting great. The crunch because they put sourdough in there, pre-sliced sourdough.
Oh yeah, decent bread.
Really nice bread. And then once you've obviously you've just dropped it, lowered it into a pool of butter so the edges get nice and the outsides get nice and crispy. And that crunch, when I was slicing it, it sounded amazing. You know that scene in Ratatouille when he gets the bread and he squeezes it to test whether it's good? And that really captured that moment. And I felt like this sandwich did much the same thing.
Yeah. I definitely get that.
They nail the experience. It's not just a nice tasting sandwich. It is a whole event. That's how I feel anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that was their favourite flavour combination.
What we ordered?
Yeah.
So not just like the cheddar cheese one?
No, that's not their favourite.
Look at me, death stare. I'm sorry. I can see why. It's very different from any cheese sandwich I would ever consider ordering.
But they do have a favourite dish, which I wanted to highlight because I absolutely love this. I've never had this form of it.
Right.
But it's blue cheese raclette.
Is this a sandwich?
No, it's raclette.
It's actual raclette. I wasn't sure if it was like raclette cheese in a sandwich.
No. Which is made using young buck.
So like cheese.
In Northern Ireland.
Okay.
To a Stilton recipe, which uses raw milk. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm no cheese connoisseur. I don't know what any of that means. All I know is that sounds good.
Does young buck mean deer? But that wouldn't make
Maybe.
sense because like milk wouldn't come from male. Anyway.
But raclette,
Yeah.
I have had quite a few times because I have a lovely
It's Swiss, right?
Swiss family friend
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
We all love cheese. And so when I was young, we used to have raclette, and now I'm like, I need to have blue cheese raclette because raclette is not traditionally made with blue cheese at all. It's more like a kind of creamy.
Raclette is there's a raclette cheese,
yeah,
right?
it has its own cheese.
Yeah.
So the fact that they've taken it next level with a blue cheese, I mean, usually with raclette, I can put away quite a lot. I can imagine with blue cheese, you wouldn't be able
Is
to
that
do
not
the
true of
same.
every cheese dish ever?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But also, they go to festivals and stuff.
Who do the cheese truck?
Yeah.
That makes sense, actually. Now I think about it, that's genius.
I can imagine the hangover cure. Oh, it'd be so good.
I'm hanging. I need all of the grilled cheese you
Yeah.
can muster.
But they mentioned a delicious pairing of Stilton and bacon with a pear chutney.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Stilton and pear. I think it's
Yeah.
Stilton and apple.
Oh
More than Stilton and
no,
pear.
Stilton and pear.
Oh, is that the way it's done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Traditional.
Oh,
That's very traditional.
lovely. I'd definitely eat it. And did you say bacon?
Yeah.
I heard the word.
definitely.
I heard the word bacon. I like bacon. Damn.
So yeah, they do loads of awesome cheese combos.
Mm.
I'm really hungry now.
Yeah. Yeah, just talking about... when you said raclette, I just pictured the raclette I had that one time. Which maybe we talk about raclette.
Wait, you have had raclette?
Once. But
Oh wait, was this with me?
Yeah.
At Venn Street Market.
Yeah.
Also another great food market, guys.
in Clapham.
Venn Street Market. There's not loads of stuff there, but the stuff that is there is good.
I was going to say, do we need to explain what raclette is? Because I didn't know really until you introduced me. And I don't know if what I experienced was raclette in the traditional way it's served and everything.
So the way I've had it served is you have that like a sort of a hot plate kind of in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Or like a filament, and then you put the cheese onto these like little pans,
Okay.
baby pans, and you put them underneath this kind of grill.
Mm.
And then once it's bubbling and delicious, you take it out, and then usually it's served with like potatoes and meats and bread and pickled various things.
Mm.
And then you just pour your cheese over the top.
Oh man, that sounds
Whereas
good.
I think when we had it at Venn Street,
Mm.
they had a whole great big wheel of cheese, which they were melting the edge of. It looked spectacular. And then they'd just scrape off a load.
Yeah, that wasn't going to say it. It was literally a half wheel of cheese. It was about, I don't know, 2 feet in diameter. And yeah, they had this element that was literally positioned perfectly over that whole flat edge of cheese, just slowly, really low heat.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just melting it away. And then they just this big, it looked like a butter knife or like a cake icing spreader kind of thing. And they just angled it at 45 degrees, pulled the cheese down into like the little container, and sprinkled some little sliced cornichons on there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
It was good.
it was so good. I've never forgotten that. That was an amazing cheese experience. Cheese, it's very evocative. Like, it sticks in my head when I have a good cheese experience, like the first cheese truck encounter. Stuck in my head. I was like, I wish I could have that again. At the time, I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
I think I found it once in between then and now, before we did this sandwich.
For me, a favourite cheese moment was definitely when we were in Paris.
Mm.
And we were really young. I think it was our first holiday together.
Oh yeah.
I love that we chose Paris. My mum said she knew this was a proper boyfriend.
A proper boyfriend
Because we went
because
on
of cheese.
No, because we went on a proper holiday.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Where had you been to before? Like
I think-
Lanzarote or something?
Yeah, basically
No
like
offense to
boozy
Lanzarote.
holidays,
Ah.
New Quay,
Oh yeah, okay.
places like that. And she was like, no.
No.
And we did wine and cheese tasting. I think we couldn't find the building, or like they'd given us an address, and it was crazy. We were running around Paris. We were super sweaty by the time we arrived. And then we went into this little basement and we sat down, and my goodness, the food was incredible. So it was lots of different cheeses. There was a bit of charcuterie. There was bread. And then there was wine. And we were taught, I think for the first time ever, how to drink wine or like taste wine.
Taste wine. Get those tannins going. You know, look at the legs on the edge of the glass, all that stuff.
And I don't think either of us really even liked wine.
How old were we at the time?
We must have been 22.
Were we that
If
old?
that?
I thought we were even younger.
20?
Yeah, so clueless. I mean, I would say I'm still pretty clueless about wine, but I drink a lot more of it now.
Yeah, I was going to say I like the taste of it now.
Yeah.
And they served this creamy goat's cheese.
Yeah.
And they'd rolled it in dried apricots. Now, a lot of the time you get like Wensleydale with apricots, or you get like, I can't think of another cheese. There's another one that I've seen in the shops that's some sort of cheese with apricots. No.
Compared to this, no.
No. So yeah, I've never forgotten that. And I think we also had blue cheese that we both really liked. I think before that we hadn't really been fans.
I mean, we got all sorts of mad blue cheeses whilst we were in Paris. There was like the one I called nuclear cheese. I want to get back to the sandwich though.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, I know, it's exciting.
I'm just really excited about cheese.
All the cheese. I know. I'm just really excited about cheese. We should get that on a t-shirt. Oh yeah, can we talk about
for collect
delivery? The cheese truck is a roving truck. Obviously, when it's not locked down, it's going to festivals and whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know whether the cheese truck is like active right now? Like, is it still somewhere you can go to? Or
no. Well, no.
And the cheese bar, which is a brick and mortar fixed location.
That's the one in Camden.
That's Camden, right? Okay, cool. Have you been there?
No.
Right. And do you know anything about it? Can we eat in there?
Yeah, you can eat in there, but you can't right now, obvs.
No, obvs.
But you can click and collect. You can have delivery from them. But they're more like, I would say, so the cheese truck is kind of like your bougie, dirty cheese experience, whereas cheese bar is more like your sophisticated cheese experience.
Oh, it's more like cheese
wine,
boards.
Yeah, and cheese boards. And they do tasting nights and all that kind of stuff when this whirlwind of craziness isn't happening.
That's interesting from a brand perspective.
Yeah, I don't...
Because it's like two different audiences.
Two very different audiences, but hey, they're doing very well.
Although I say that, I would go to both. So maybe they know exactly who their audience is.
I think it's very sensible.
Obviously, you like a goat cheese toasted cheese sandwich.
Yes, I do.
If you were making your own amazing... Like, if you were trying to impress someone with a cheese... Trying to impress me with a toasted cheese sandwich.
Okay.
What's in your toasted cheese sandwich?
Oh, I think I'm going to go blue cheese.
Okay.
Like loaded.
Loaded. Are we talking like Santa Gur blue cheese or something way heavier? Like, because that's a very light,
No,
creamy...
I'd go heavy. Like a heavy, crumbly blue cheese.
Oh, okay. Tangy. Punchy.
Yes.
Okay. Punch in the face blue cheese. When you toast blue cheese or any strong cheese, I feel like it gets... The tang is kind of reduced somewhat. It's kind of more mellowed and softened. Okay.
But then I'd probably, I don't know, you want something sweet then alongside it.
Yeah. Well, which is what the needle they threaded with the one we actually tried was that tangy goat cheese with the sweet honey, right?
Yeah, and their favourite flavour thing that I mentioned earlier, which was bacon, Stilton and pear.
Yeah.
I'm a bit funny about cooked pear.
Oh, I like poached pear's nice.
It is if it's on its own. I think sometimes the flavour of pear would get lost, so I probably wouldn't feel confident to put pear in it.
Especially with a strong blue cheese.
Yeah. Oh no, or you could do blue cheese with slices of grilled peach or nectarine. I think I'd do that.
Like dried or just fresh?
No, fresh but griddled.
Ooh.
Maybe with a bit of honey on it so they go a bit crispy.
Yeah.
And then I'd just sprinkle a bit of sea salt in there. You could put some like chorizo. No, that's too much flavour. Some bacon lardons or something sprinkled in the sandwich.
You guys should see when we make pizzas. Ellie is way too liberal with like every topping available. So the thing weighs a ton and it's like it's gonna go soggy before it gets crispy.
It's more like a pie.
Yeah. Well, you take the term pizza pie very literally.
I like filling. Or I probably would just go classic and get some really good cheddar cheese.
You can't. That's what I was gonna do.
Okay, well, what grilled cheese sandwich would you make for me then if you were trying to impress me?
I was trying to make... what's the name of it? I think it's a cheddar, but it's like a... It's a very crumbly... It tastes like it's got salt in it or something. Really strong, mature, like is it a tickler?
Oh my God, I have no idea.
I think, yeah, anyway. Think of a really...
You're just impressing me that you know the name of a cheddar cheese.
Hey, extra mature, very crumbly,
Yeah.
strong cheddar cheese. Big, thick slices of that. Like, I'm talking like a centimetre thick slices. The bread is a good one. I'd probably go sourdough because it was...
Oh, I didn't even think about the bread itself.
Rookie mistake. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, you might be serving it to me on like some, like, I don't know, Hovis best of both. And what's that? She all right, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to go like just silly fancy, I'd probably say like focaccia because I love focaccia.
Ooh.
Actually, yeah, focaccia.
With cheddar cheese?
Fuck yeah, why not?
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, olive oil drizzled focaccia with some rosemary in there on the top. Maybe a little bit of like, you know, sea salt sprinkled on top as well. So you got that crunch, you got that saltiness, and then you got that cheese coming in and it's going to hit you with its tangy goodness. I mean, I don't want to copy the cheese stroke, but I love the idea of red onion. Maybe caramelized onion. Because then that would be that sweetness again. But it's not sickly sweet. I don't think caramelized onion has a savory element to it as well.
Could caramelize it with a bit of balsamic.
Oh, we tried that this week, didn't we, with our mince?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't really
Balsamic
work.
and the
We need
bolognese.
way more balsamic.
Yeah, but we'd already know.
We'll fix it for next time. We'll talk about that in a future episode as well. So many ideas I've had in this episode. Yeah, so a focaccia toasty with extra mature cheddar, caramelized onion.
If you're going to use focaccia, it has to be then with mozzarella.
What? No.
Yes.
That's
grilled mozzarella focaccia cheese sandwich. Yes.
If I was making like an open
with pesto, Parma ham.
I think you're just in Italian cuisine country right now. Oh, she's sleeping at the microphone. She's just falling asleep in the world of deliciousness.
Just imagining myself in all of the flavors.
Yeah. Okay, so you've cheese toasty shamed me.
Sorry.
Okay, fine. Just regular white bread toasted
Go
in
ahead.
a toasty maker with some, I don't know, Waitrose own brand, Tesco's own brand.
Would you really ever make that now that you've sampled this gloriousness?
I would, but I would cry as I ate it because it wouldn't be the one I had from the cheese truck. Either of the ones I've now had from the cheese truck.
I feel like you said something to me at the end of our filming and eating of this sandwich last time. So going forward.
Oh, what did I say? I was like, I can't go back. Is it that kind of thing? Something like that?
I think you said grilled cheese on a piece of bread done in the oven is never going to be the same again.
Yeah. A classic, yeah. A standard cheese toasty as you would have made before.
It's dead to me now.
It's like, you know, BC and Anno Domini. Now it's AT after toasty.
I was literally like,
you're like, where?
What?
Where is he going with this? What's happening?
I'm sure we've probably made you all hungry by now, so definitely go order yourself a cheese toasty. This is not sponsored by them.
But you said that they now serve up. You can now order these boxes.
You can now order them. They're not that expensive. You get a portion for 2. It's brilliant. Also, I think I want to give a little shout out to them anyway. Like, we hit them up and said we were going to make this podcast. We really enjoyed the experience, and they were super nice, and they sent us information and all that kind of thing. So yeah.
If it was like an eBay review, it's like good comms, 5 stars. Like, they were very on it.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, really good. So yeah, definitely check out the cheese truck, the Cheese Bar London. I presume you can find out once lockdown lifts, you can find out where the cheese truck's going to be.
Yes.
When it's at festivals or markets or whatever. So definitely go check it out. Probably all around the south of England, I imagine. But who knows? Maybe they go further afield. I don't know. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 3 of Famished. It's been an absolute pleasure, especially as this was the first episode where we actually got to, you know, make something ourselves and bring you our findings, our hard research on this, very pressing topic right now, cheese toasties. Of course, if you don't already, please think about subscribing to the podcast. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you listen there. And if you want to see more of what we're up to, especially things like this video we mentioned of us actually making this, you can see it on our Instagram, and you can find about it on Twitter, both at Famished Family. You can find us on YouTube. Again, just search Famished and probably just type in Famished the Tea Shop. You'll find the video version of this episode if you want to see what we look like and what we're drinking this week. Yeah, that's all I have to say. You got anything to add? No. Okay, good. Do you want to tease what we might be talking about next week?
Ooh, well, there is an Italian theme next week.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of cemented that now. Clearly, you want to talk Italian, so.
Another delivery service where you bring that restaurant experience into your home.
But we won't say who. You'll have to wait for that one.
You will.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you've been watching us on YouTube, I've been Mr. Walker Todd.
And I've been Mrs. Walker Todd. Thanks for joining us at the Famished table. And don't forget, always leave room for more.